Hi everybody, welcome to A Pop of Culture. This is the Esoteric and Facetious, and this is a pop of culture, as I just said, and basically I just wanted to do an update video where I talk to you guys just about how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. As you know, if you're new to this channel, which I'm sure most of you are because I'm a new channel, this channel is about me talking on pop culture, social justice, and human nature from a black, bisexual, millennial perspective. Definitely feel free to check out any of my other videos. I have 10 videos, give or take, so far, video essay podcasts on different topics about pop culture, social justice, and the human experience. But this video is going to be a little bit different today. If you have listened to the other video, the one I did on toxic positivity, then I just recorded that earlier, so I just have to edit it, but I'm recording this in the car, which is new for me. But basically, I wanted to talk on some things, and this is unscripted, so I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but I just wanted to talk because I know that a lot of stuff is happening. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that there has been a body found in the lake, and that body has been suspected to be Naya Rivera's body. This was recorded on Tuesday when the news had just dropped. So now they have discovered that it was Naya Rivera's body. Yeah. So I'm back, so obviously. So basically, the first thing I'm going to talk about is a body was found in the lake that Naya Rivera went missing in, and it is presumed that is the body. And this is just a very sad situation because if you've been keeping up with the story, you know that she was with her 4-year-old son. And for me, this is just a very tragic situation because, first and foremost, a child lost their mother. And I think I think also it's very eerie. Like, this is a sad time we're living in, of course, with the situation we have going on. Then, the killing of the murders of innocent black people, the death of Kobe Bryant this year, alongside others, his daughter and others. I also saw that John Travolta's wife passed away. Hi, again, this is me in editing. So I wanted to mention that Kelly Preston passed away. I wanted to use her name because I feel like I wouldn't want to be referred to by my significant other name only when I pass away. I feel like in death we should be known as who we are. Of course, John Travolta is the star, or the big star of the couple, so it makes sense that he was the one who was referred to. But Kelly Preston, who passed away after a battle with breast cancer, appeared in more than 60 television and film productions, including Mischief, Twins, Jerry Maguire, and For the Love of the Game. And that's just another thing that I feel like I've almost kind of forgotten about. Like, I haven't forgotten that other illnesses and diseases are around, but I feel like with the situation we have going on, I feel like we also have to remember, like, other people are dealing with other issues on top of that, which is kind of just something to remember and consider. Rest in peace, Kelly Preston. And I'll also get to the next thing, which is about a YouTuber. But basically, it was just kind of cryptic to me too, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Sometimes I feel like life is hard and life is tragic, and sometimes we want answers. I may do a video on this. We want to make these answers out of things that don't really have an answer. Just bad things happen. And it's just crazy to me because I remember, like, I'm somebody who's a black pop culture, like, enthusiast. I love pop culture, especially black pop culture. So I was actually just looking up the sitcom. It's a sitcom, The Royal Family, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And it was starring Red Fox and Della Reese. And it also featured Naya Rivera, like, as a very young child. It was like an earlier 90s sitcom. And Red Fox actually passed away on set. Quick disclaimer. It is somewhat unclear as to whether he passed away on set or at the hospital. On Wikipedia, which is not the most reliable source, it says that he was pronounced dead on set, but then he was temporarily resuscitated at the hospital. But 4 hours after being admitted to the hospital, he was pronounced dead. And I guess for me, like, it's just crazy when you see these situations where, like, these celebrities are just, like, almost surrounded by tragedy. And I mean, I guess anybody's life is surrounded by tragedy, but like Red Fox was one of her castmates. Literally, like, as far as I read, it's like he passed away on set. Like, you know, he was not being treated well by the producers, by some of the staff members. Like, Della Reese was saying that they just weren't treating him right, respecting him right, and I'm sure that may have contributed to like his stress. And, you know, that's just tragic. And I'm pretty sure they were even like, when he had just, like, Della Reese said in an interview that when he passed away, they were already trying to talk about how they were going to fix the show. Like, they were less concerned about the fact that somebody who was working with them, somebody who I feel like it was a very iconic figure in Black pop culture, that he had passed away. And they were more worried about how we're going to fix this, how we're going to save ratings and stuff and things of that nature. So just the fact that she'd been involved in that, and just the fact that, you know, with Glee, Corey Monteith, I think that's how you would pronounce his name, he passed away too. And then also, of course, that was that situation with Mark Sailing. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he was in possession of some bad stuff. If you want to know, Google that, you know. And he actually committed suicide, which I think may have been because he was going to be arrested. I'm not sure. But there's just a lot of tragedy that I feel like I just feel like that's just, and it's just so sad. And just, I feel like I said, I think one of the hardest parts of these types of cases and situations from a spectator perspective is just that waiting period. Because a lot of us, I feel like, we're holding out hope, you know, like, a lot of us were holding out hope that, like, things were going to change and maybe she'd be found. Maybe. That's the thing, like I said, like, it's just crazy to think that, you know, you could go out for a swim and things could go awry in that manner. Anybody who knew Naya, anyone who just feels personally affected, I feel very affected. I of course didn't know Naya Rivera, but like, I feel like things like this, and I'm not saying, like, I'm personally not somebody who likes going with the identity of an empath, because I personally feel like we all as humans have the capacity to feel sad when bad things happen. And so for me, I don't call myself an empath, but I am somebody who, when things like this happen, they can definitely, you know, make me feel down, make me feel upset, you know. And I definitely feel like it's going to take a while to process and unpack my feelings with this type of stuff. But, yep, as someone who grew up watching Glee, like, I think that's the thing. Like, for me, as someone who's a singer, who loves singing, who loves, you know, pop culture, the entertainment industry and things like that, who would be interested in pursuing, you know, a career if I had the chance or opportunity, it's just so sad, because I think, like, a lot of us, we really do think that, you know, these celebrities, these people who, you know, are on TV, we think that, you know, they're just living their life, like Jill said, like golden, like, you know. And the reality is, you know, though money, as I said in some of my other videos, money, I definitely do think does privilege and advantage you, and it can change things up for you and make your life better in some instances. Like, at the same time, like, I remember watching this video from somebody, and he was talking about Kobe's passing. He was like, Kobe's worth over $500 million. And he was saying, this shouldn't happen. This doesn't happen. And it's like, in theory, somebody who's worth $500 million, like, in theory, they shouldn't tragically perish in a preventable accident. But the reality of it is, no matter how much money's in your bank account, no matter how many people you know you and love you, certain instances are going to end our life with our very fragile human bodies, you know? And I just, like I said, my heart goes out to the families, to anyone affected. Like, as someone who watched Glee, like, I loved watching these people perform and sing, and just, you know, it's just crazy to think, like, you know, people, like, I guess that's the thing, as someone who, like, watches these shows and watches, you know, listens to albums and things of that sort, I feel like we have this weird connection where, you know, when someone's performing, we, like, whether, you know, through those seasons of the show, through seeing them on the show, even if you never met them, there is this kind of tie that you feel to these people because of that time you spent just watching them perform, watching them, you know, display their talent. And I feel like it's just crazy to me because, like, certain shows, like, if I watch an older show, some of those shows, like, for example, like Golden Girls, most of the people on Golden Girls are not longer here with us. Even if you watch The Wizard of Oz, I don't know if anyone from the cast of The Wizard of Oz is alive. But I guess for me, like, watching something like Glee didn't happen that long ago. And I think it's just nice for me as someone like a fan, if you're a fan of Glee, if you're a fan of these shows, you just have something, you can always just go on their Instagram and whether, and just check in on, see how they're doing, what they're doing. And it's just kind of sad to me that that's no longer, that's no more, and like I said in my video on celebrity death, like that tie is broken. That link that a lot of us have to these celebrities through their art and that work. I mean, I guess in some ways through the work she did and the work that, like we can always go back and look on it, but like that connection to that real person, I feel like in some ways is severed. And I think that's just so sad. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, let's see, there's a Black British YouTuber, and her and her son tragically passed away, her and her unborn son. And for me, this just tore my heart up. Hi, this is me in editing yet again. So first off, I'm sorry for the outside noises. This was actually something that I recorded like spur of the moment. So you're gonna hear some outside noises as I went through a drive-thru. I started recording, so sorry for that. And I also wanted to say the names of the people because I feel like, as I said earlier in the episode, I want to show respect to these people who tragically perished, because if you're not going to receive respect in death, when are you going to receive it, So the YouTuber who tragically perished was Nicole Thea, who passed away with her unborn son, Reign Thea. She was 24 years old. Her and her son are survived by her partner and the father of her child, Jeffery Frimpong, a dancer who is also known as Global Boga. Like, because I feel like all of us, and not all of us, not everyone wants to get married and have kids, but I just feel like a lot of us young people, like me, I'm a young person, and I feel like a lot of us think about the day when, we'll bring that child home, that day when we become married, and, these things will, start happening, these big milestones. Like, if some of us, we have these goals and we think about one day these goals happening, and to see these people who had this goal of, they, as far as I know, they were married, they were, not that matters, but as far as I know, they were, together, they were, happy together, and they wanted to begin life as parents. And to think that because of whatever happened, I'm assuming it was something that had to do with the childbirth, but I do not know, and I'm not someone to speculate on those types of things. To think that things could just change so quickly, I think that things like that, and even like the Naya situation, I feel like we just have to really be grateful for every day we have and just cherish the loved ones we have, because I feel like sometimes in our society, because I guess a lot of things I feel like there's a lot of things that go to routine. Like, it's not necessarily a spectacular thing to become married and have kids, to retire at 65, as far, like, from what I've noticed, like, from what I know to be true, and from what my experience is as a Black American, like, from what I've seen, being able to find a partner, being able to be married, being able to have kids and, raise those kids, to have a home. Like, these things, I feel like a lot of us, they feel very attainable. But I guess the thing that we have to realize is, no matter how old you are, no matter young you are, at any time, our life can be cut short. So I just feel like it's just always important to show love to those that we're around, so, because we never know. And you never want to, I feel like, end on bad terms with somebody. You never just want to, I never want to speak to them again, like. And I mean, if you feel like that's how you have to do it, if you feel like that's what you need to do, then like Toni Braxton said, do what you need to do. But at the same time, just realize that life is short. Even the people who live the longest in the span of the universe, our lives are but a blink of the eye. So it just is weighing on my heart. Like, I can't imagine what it'd be like to just be looking forward to raising a child with somebody and just to lose that all. And it's just, situations like this just break my heart even more and make me even more angry at people like Chris Watts. If y'all don't know, Chris Watts honestly doesn't even deserve to be brought up in this video, but he murdered his 2 children and his pregnant wife, and it's just like, for you to have what so many people want and what so many people have lost in wanting to try to build a family, like, it's just like things like that just drive me over the edge. But thanks for listening. Like, these times, like, I feel like it's just sad when, like, because obviously death is something that is always happening. Life and death are things that happen, but when these deaths, like, I feel like a lot of us, we want everyone to die in a way where basically where they're older, they've lived a full life, and they die peacefully in their sleep. And the sad reality is that's not going to be how all of us perish. So I just feel like, you know, this stuff right here has really just taught me to just cherish what I have and just cherish today. And I think obviously we need to plan for the future and plan for, you know, our future, our goals, things like that. But I think the thing I've just really realized is just also being present in the day and being present in the moment, because as people have said, tomorrow isn't promised. So if you're living for tomorrow, if you're living for, you know, 5 years down the line, or, you know, when you graduate, or when you meet that special someone, or when you make enough to do, when you get that promotion or whatever, if you're living for that day, I'm sorry to tell you, that day may never come. But what do we have? We have today. And as they say, it's so corny, that's why they say that today is a present. It's called the present because it is a present, because it's a gift. So thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this chat, then definitely like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you want to keep up to date with the show, feel free to follow me on Instagram at @PopOfCulturePod, Twitter at @_PopOfCulture, and TikTok at @PopOfCultureSings. And if you want to check out my singing, you know, my covers, you know, my singing, then definitely feel free to check out @Pop of Culture Sings. It'll be linked in the cards. And yeah. And if you've made it to the end of this YouTube video, to the left there is a playlist of all my video essay podcasts I've made before this. In the center is a button to subscribe if you'd like to. And in the right, to the right, there is a playlist of all of my covers if you want to listen to any of those. And if you'd like to support the show, support the channel, then definitely feel free to donate. My Cash App is linked below. Love y'all so much. Have a great day. Bye.